Hey YouTube, it's Peter with Stuff Addict, and today I'm going to go over the SVS PB1000 home theater subwoofer. The PB1000 is SVS's lower end budget friendly subwoofer, but in the grand scheme of things, it's priced more like a middle tier subwoofer because it's around $500 on Amazon. Around the front of the PB1000, you have a blue LED indicator, which really annoys me, but if you put on the speaker grill, you can't really see it. You have the 10-inch woofer and the speaker enclosure port right down there. Nothing really else on the front. And notice the speaker grill is attached by these little retention plugs and it's not magnetic. So it the aesthetic is not as clean as if they were to use a magnetic speaker grill mount. The PB1000, being more of the budget line of the SVS subwoofers, doesn't have any fancy Bluetooth controls. All the controls are on the back of the subwoofer. There's also no remote. So going from the top, you have your volume knob, and then you have your phase knob, 0 to 180 of course. Your low pass filter, it'll pass anywhere from 50 Hz to 160 Hz. And of course an LFE setting, so letting all the signal go through. An auto standby. And on switch, I always leave it on. I feel like the auto standby kind of has some weird detection of a signal. And then you have your line level inputs if you're passing in the full signal from like a pre-out. And then LFE input if you're using a dedicated subwoofer channel. And then near the bottom, you have your high level speaker inputs. So if you're using an amplifier that has no pre-outs and you just want to wire it into the subwoofer. And then of course you have a 2-prong power cable up to 300 watts and an off and on switch. So next up are the bass tests. I'm going to do a quick clip from Hacksaw Ridge, and then a quick clip from Bass I Love You, and then finally a frequency sweep off a clip off YouTube from 20 Hz to about 80 Hz. Also, the bass test I ran was with the subwoofer cranked all the way to maximum volume and the low pass filter set to LFE, and I passed around 200 Hz and down to it, which is a little bit higher than normal. Like 80 Hz is probably the reference range of frequencies you send to it, but I just wanted to get more sound out of the subwoofer for the test. While filming this, I encountered something interesting about the PB1000, and that the gain applied to your input signal changes drastically between the LFE input and the line level input. So if you connect your receiver or whatever, or your sound card to the LFE input, the output is really, really low. I could barely get it to output anything, even with the gain cranked up and the equalizer gain cranked up on the receiver in my sound card, and I was getting like nothing. I was super disappointed. I thought something was wrong with the subwoofer. But when I changed it to the line level input, it started behaving like normals. which is kind of odd. So that's an interesting quirk. I don't know if it's just mine or they're all like that. So is the PB1000 worth $500? Well, I don't feel like it fills a medium room that well, but maybe a smaller room it would be okay. But the problem is at $500, I think SVS is charging a little bit of premium for their brand name in this case. And a lot of times you can get something like a Klipsch R112, so their 12-inch kind of reference line subwoofer for like $225, $250 if you wait long enough at Fry's. And you could even get 2 of those for less than the price of one of these, and you get better bass performance. But you can always use their in-home trial program to see if it's good for you, and then you can make a decision off that, because it could just be my room that's a little bit too big for the subwoofer.